practice comes to you from a chair. Now, when I was first introduced to chair yoga, it was through a class for seniors. But as the weeks went on, I began to see how deep I was able to experience some of my classic yoga poses from the mat on my chair. Now, this practice is for the complete beginner, someone who feels as if they might be a little too intimidated to walk into a yoga class, or completely inflexible, all the way up to a seasoned yogi, to see your practice with fresh eyes and to get a renewed sense in the practice. I make these videos for you, but truth be told, I also make them for me. I am one who suffers from autoimmune conditions as well as depression. If I didn't have yoga in my life, I don't think I'd be able to persevere as well as I do or be as resilient on the tough days. So this is a tool for you to use and fall upon when you need it most. If that resonates with you, consider subscribing to this family that we're building, and I hope you enjoy this practice. The ponytail never looks this good, so we have to get it on camera. Go lay down. Remembering we're letting go of all preconceived notions on whether we can or can't do yoga, or whether we're flexible or inflexible. Just let this practice unfold naturally and listen to your body through sensation. Before we get started, just take a moment to center yourself. Feet are parallel and you're at the front to middle end of your chair so that you don't slouch. Relax your shoulders. Place one hand on the belly beneath the navel and one hand across the sternum. You can close your eyes or just soften your gaze. And what I want you to notice on the next breath in is, where are you breathing? Are you breathing into the chest? And you'll feel that in your palm. Or are you breathing into your belly? And our goal is to breathe into the belly. And if you're not used to focusing on your breath, that's easier said than done. But see if you can drop straight into the belly on the breath. And I think of a waterfall. The water drops down and into that pool of water and then bubbles up. So focus on the breath into the belly. And then try to pull it up through the lungs and into the chest. On the exhale, it's from the chest down to the belly. So take another breath. Let it go. And open your eyes slowly. We'll get started with a cat-cow. Take a nice full breath in. And on the exhale, round your back. Curl on your tailbone, look in with your eyes. Inhale, rock through center and squeeze through your back muscles. This is like an accordion. On the exhale, you compress the air from your body. And on the inhale, you fill back up. It is full undulation of spine from the crown all the way to the tip of that tailbone. And you should feel as if you're rocking back and forth on your sit bones. Taking one more round and coming into a neutral spine. Relax the shoulders, palms come to your sides. Inhale the arms up. As the arms come overhead, see if you can give a little prayer or steeple interlace. Soft bend to the elbows if you need. Lengthen up through the sides of the body and lean to the right. Now as you lean to the right, I want you to think of energetically pushing your left hip into the chair. Another breath in. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine and feel that sense of pressing through the left hip and up and out of the side body. One more breath in. Exhale, round your back like a cat and reach those fingertips forward. Look at the ground, up and over to your left side. Rather than just leaning and dumping, I want you to push through your hip and then come out of the side body. So it is a rooting of the right hip and a rising up and out of your waist. Big breath. Exhale, navel draws back. Coming forward, nice and slow. We'll take another round. Inhale to the right. Exhale through center and up and over to the left. come back, and with bent elbows, cactus the arms, open the chest, and release the hands. I want you to grab the chair with your right hand, roll that shoulder back, and lean to the left. So what you should be feeling is a gentle pulling sensation somewhere in the shoulder or the neck, and then tilt your head, feeling a big stretch in your neck, in your jaw. Nice and slow, begin to rotate, peek towards the ground on that left side. On the breath in, lift through the sternum to the ceiling, really opening up through the chest and the pectorals. Back to center. This is such an easy stretch and it's so accessible, and yet I forget how good it is until I do a chair class, and then I'm reminded of how much I need it and love it. Grabbing the chair with the left, lean to the right, tilt your head and lift through the jawline. Make sure the shoulder isn't hunched forward, even if you wanted to push it back with the fingertips. Peek towards that floor on the right side. One more nice breath. And then meet me back at center. Roll those shoulders. Right arm comes in front of the left arm. I want you to give it a little hook. So come up onto that arm. Shoulders push down. I want you to focus on a retraction, pushing your right shoulder to the right corner of the room as this left arm drags down the right. So you're feeling a big stretch through the outer portion of that shoulder. Check in with your form. You're lifting up and out of the waist, long spine. Releasing and inhale the arms up and overhead. Bend through that right elbow. Depending on your range of motion, you might want to grab the tip of the elbow or this meatier part of the arm. Now, how do you know which is which? If you notice you're arching your spine or letting your head do something funny to get to this elbow, you'll want to scale back to the base of the arm. Pull the rib cage together. The chin is pushing back towards that right palm behind you. Take your right arm and push it into your left hand. There's a tendency to want to pull on the arm, but rather use the right to push into the left to go deeper. Nice full breath in. And on the exhale, really gently just begin to extend through that right side. Think of reaching your armpit on that right side to where the wall and ceiling meet. Come all the way back to center, release those arms, and left arm is gonna cross right over. Retract the shoulder down and back, so my left shoulder is pushing away from me as I drag across with my right arm. And we'll see if I can't change your minds about chair yoga, right? Sometimes we think chair yoga is for seniors. I bet by the time we're done, you'll be feeling incredible and well stretched. Releasing, inhale the arms up. You're electing to take either the tip of the elbow or you're guiding the arm back. Regardless of the expression that you choose, push your left into your right. Lower rib cage pulls in and up, not overarching. Sometimes we arch the back because it appears that we're getting the arm further back. Draw in with those lower ribs. Chin pushes back. Full breath in. Exhale, begin your side bend, up and over. Releasing both arms. Just give it a nice little release. And depending on the chair you're on, you could either put your hands in the back of the chair, which is what I'll do, or you can grab the seat. I prefer to go to the inside of the chair because I can actively push outwards, emphasizing the stretch through the chest. On a nice breath in, press into your chair and lift your heart to the ceiling, feeling a stretch through your chest and a contraction through your shoulders. Breathe in. Exhale, round your back. Look in with your eyes. Inhale, float open. Exhale, release in. Do it once more. Inhale to open. And exhale to soften. Releasing the arms. Roll those shoulders back. Feet are hip distance apart. Left arm is going to cross over to the outer portion of that right thigh and take a gentle twist to the left. Your Lengthening the spine, this is really important. You're up and out of the pelvis, just focusing on that gentle rotation. Keeping that bind, left hand is holding onto the outer thigh. Right arm reaches up from behind. Take a nice full breath in, exhale. Push your right hip down and into the chair as you reach to the left diagonal. So I'm feeling this big stretch through the outer portion of that right low back and hip. Nice full breath. On the exhale, right arm is going to cross all the way down to that left thigh. Inside arm, left arm unravels, and look at that, you're on the other side. Roll the shoulders back, sit tall, focus on the rotation, up and out of the pelvis, navel draws back. Left arm reaches, take a nice full breath in, exhale, push your left hip into the chair, up and over. Your focus is that left side body, where we have all that tightness and that low back pain. Reach from this spiraling action. Nice full breath. Exhale, come back into that rounded spine, holding on to the outsides of your thighs, shoulders away from your ears. Look in with your eyes. And unfold. Hopefully that upper body is starting to feel a little looser. We're going to travel down now to our legs and hips. So to get started, go ahead and grab the right leg. Just scoop it up in your hands. And I just want you to do a couple little pumps here. Foot is flexed, you're sitting tall. And I just want to do a little flossing here, kind of get everything ready for its stretch, warming up. Foot is flexed, lift high. Actively push your right leg into your hands, sit tall, squeeze and engage the muscles. And just let it all go. Just let it get floppy, let that foot kick. And we'll set up for our fold, which is Paschimottanasana. Make sure you're at the front end of your chair. And you can always use a yoga block here if you have a yoga block. It's really just personal preference, and also if you have one. Anytime we fold, we want to make sure that we're folding from what feels like a cow pose. I am doing a pelvic tilt forward. It's about trying to shorten the distance between my belly and my thigh rather than just reaching with a rounded back for my foot. So sit nice and tall. Inhale the right arm up and extend it forward. Make sure your toes are pointing towards the ceiling and you have a nice active leg squeezing through that right thigh. Nice active toes. Take one more inhale up and extend forward. Now you can keep the arm reaching, or you can let the hand rest somewhere above or below the knee. If you are one who can reach your foot, that is fine, but I want you to make sure that you're not hunching and rounding to get to the foot. You should feel as if your right shoulder is actively plugged in. Keep extending the sternum forward and avoid reaching with your chin. So just let the gaze look down and slightly forward of the foot. And you are where you are. Again, we're looking for sensation. And our goal here is posterior chain, which starts at the bottom of the foot and ends all the way up at the crown of your head. So the entire backside of your body, not just your hamstring. Nice full breath. Making your way up slowly. And draw that leg in. Just take a moment to receive that stretch. We're going to take what looks like a similar stretch, but it's a little bit deeper into that outer IT band. The right leg that's in front of you, I want you to try to slide it ever so slightly through center over to that left side. Then take the shoulders and rotate them to the right. Right hand to hip, left hand can be on your thigh, and you might already be feeling something here and you might want to hold. If you want to go deeper, I'm going to take those left fingertips like a little spider here and walk down my leg while I continue to focus on my rotation. Right foot is flexed, heart is lifted, extending the crown forward. We're working through that outer IT band, and this is so deep. I can't imagine anyone not feeling this. Nice active toes. One more breath in. And on the exhale, go ahead and release. Scoop that leg up and just give it a little kick. We're going to work our way into a classic figure 4 or pigeon pose with our chair. Rock back and forth on your sit bones. You still get that nice lift up and out of the pelvis. We're going to work with active flexibility. Taking your hands to the inside of that right thigh, push up with your knee, and then push down with your hands. We're going to do a couple rounds, lift maybe for the count of 2 or 3, and then press down. So we're trying to activate the muscle prior to stretching our muscle. Once more, push down with your hands, and then just release the work. Take your leg and just gently jostle it. And this is muscle confusion. So your leg can't really kind of figure out what's going on, so we just want to confuse the muscle. Foot is flexed, nice and tall. When you're coming into your pigeon pose, it is the same premise as with our fold. Never rounding and reaching, but rather lifting through the pelvis, right? Pelvic tilt forward and extend. Now you might find that you're at your edge. You can deepen this a whole bunch of ways. For this round, let's just decide if we want to take a little extra pressure on that inner thigh as we extend forward. To deepen, think of leaning to the left. So the more I can travel towards this right foot with my face and lean into the pose, the more I'm going to access that right hip. So breathe and feel. This is truly one of my favorite chair stretches. And if I'm stuck in a Zoom meeting or returning emails, you might find me sitting like this because I always am trying to get those hips to open up. One more breath. And just nice and slow, roll your way up. We'll take a little break there. Just take your foot in your hands and give a nice little rotation of the ankle. We're gonna go in once more and see if we can't go a little bit deeper if you want. I'll give you different options. Take the top of the foot with your hand and draw the toes towards you. My goal is to stretch the front of the ankle here. You can deepen by using your right thumb in your inner arch and pull the toes towards you as you push through the arch, and you'll feel a nice big stretch in your ankle and in your shin. We don't often think about ankle mobility, but it's so important. Okay, pigeon, round 2. We can take that same variation of up and gently press or lean. How I will deepen is I'm going to use the palm of my left hand to the heel of my right foot. This is what's called creating a distraction. Essentially, when I push my foot into my hand and my hand into my foot, it's creating space within my joint. So, distraction, extending forward, and then leaning to the left. And for those last few breaths, if you want to go deeper yet, you can move this into more of a passive stretch. Hands are going to frame the foot as you fold down. The goal is to let your body weight completely surrender. Nice full breaths in and try to feel that sense of sinking and releasing as you exhale. Slow rise. Oh, so deep, right? Release that leg. We're just going to take one more stretch for that right side. For hip and I say for quad and hip flexor. So I like to shift myself sideways, which is why I like a chair without handles. Right leg is going to kick off. Your goal is to try to get your knee to point towards the floor. My left thigh is safely on the chair. I don't feel like I'm going to fall off. Press through your back foot into the floor. Squeeze the hip forward so you're engaging the glutes. Should almost feel like you're trying to press through the pelvis. You can even hold on to the back of the chair here. Right arm comes up and over towards that back side of the chair. Keep lifting your heart up as you engage through the glutes. You could play with your angle, slightly rotating that right shoulder in towards that left knee or extending back and overhead. Releasing and swing back to center. Before we hit that left side, I just want you to take a moment to pause and notice how you feel. Opening those eyes. And let's get ready for that left side. Scoop the leg up, sit nice and tall. The weight is in my arms, foot is flexed as you move into a little pump. This is just your flossing, beginning to warm up the back of that left leg, and lift and hold. Squeeze and engage that thigh. And release. Left leg is going to extend out in front, and again, if you wanted to use a block, you certainly could. This is all about the pelvic tilt, right? Coming to the front edge of your chair, pelvic tilt forward. Left arm comes up and extends forward. Roll your way up, breath in. Exhale, pull yourself forward. Once more, and then we'll take a hold. Breathe in and exhale to reach. Arm can stay extended out, reaching through a long spine. Hand can come down onto that shin, or perhaps you're grabbing the foot. Now remembering with the foot, you're not hunching and extending the shoulder. That left shoulder should feel as if it's plugged in. Actively pull the toes towards you, whether that's just energetically, the toes are nice and stretched, or your hand is helping. Nice full breath. On the exhale, take a release and just step that left foot forward. All right, slightly through center. So that left leg is going to cross through center. Take the shoulders over to that left side, sit nice and tall, and you're just going to find your edge. A little spider walk for me, down the leg, spiral to the left, chest is lifted. You want to find the outside of that left hip. At some point, you may be able to go a little bit deeper, so just keep checking in. Are you at your edge? You're feeling discomfort, but you would not describe it as pain. It's something that you can breathe through, you can linger in with a little bit of curiosity. Nice full breath. And on the exhale, just slowly come up and back. Scoop that leg up, just give it a nice little toss. Setting up for that classic pigeon pose, figure 4. Left foot on right thigh, sit nice and tall, and you're going to do that active press. Hands come to the left inner thigh, press up, and then push down. Twice more, up and down. Take a nice breath in, push up with your leg, and on the exhale, press down with your hands. Release and come into that little jostle. You're just kind of letting that leg go. This is why those vibration guns are so effective, because essentially they confuse the muscle, and then the muscle just gives up and releases. Painful but effective. All right. Make sure that this right foot is not underneath you. Lots of times I see it back here. Make sure the ankle and the knee are stacked. Flex that left foot, sit nice and tall, and pelvic tilt forward. That might be enough. Remember, hips are uneven, they're never the same. Perhaps gentle pressure on that left inner thigh as you lean to the right. Take one more breath. And gently release. Just let that foot roll in a circle, or maybe guide it in a circle with your hand, both directions. And hands are going to come right onto the toes, pull the toes towards you, right? So that might be enough right here in the shin or the ankle. Option to take that left thumb to the inside of the arch as you stretch. And release. We are going to take this into one more pigeon. Of course, keeping this just as you were for round one. I'm going to work that distraction, pressing into my heel with my palm, feeling that left side activate as I fold. And this is 10 times deeper in my chair than on my yoga mat. So seeing this pose that we frequently do down on the mat with fresh eyes. Option to take that release. I'm folding to the foot, folding to the left foot with my head, letting the body surrender and hang. I give in to gravity. On the exhale, just feel yourself sink deeper. And begin to roll your way up nice and slow. Okay, last but not least for this left side, I'm going to pivot. So my right thigh is on the chair, left leg kicks back. You want to plug in through that toe, knee points to the floor, squeeze through the glutes. Inhale, left arm up and come across. Keep drawing the navel to the spine, not to overarch the back. Feel a deep stretch all the way down that left thigh and hip flexor. Nice full breath in. And on the exhale, release. Meet me back at center. Okay, and we've covered those outer hips. Let's get a little bit into the inner hips. Push your hips way back to the end of your chair, so I'm way back at the end of my seat. Come onto the left elbow and begin to spiral open. So I'm going to press into that inner left thigh with my elbow and twist to the right. Right arm can come up, and for myself, I like to look down and forward so I don't strain my neck. I notice some people like to look at the hand, but for me, I feel like I'm just creating more tension back there. Opening up through the chest on a nice breath in. Use that exhale to push through your right hip into the chair. And then reach that arm up and over. Right arm reaches left, nice full breath in. Exhale, move to center. Hook that right arm now on the inner thigh. Roll the shoulders open. Twist to the left. Slowly begin to unravel. Peeking forward if that feels good for you. You should feel as if you can breathe and open up into that left chest. One more breath. On the exhale, push that hip into the chair, left side, up and over. Nice full breath in. On the exhale, meet me back at center. Now, depending on your flexibility, you can try to open your hips from here. How I like to come into this is use my elbows on the inner thighs here to push open. So I'm using my elbows to push the hips open while allowing my body weight to sink forward. Because my weight is deep back into the chair, I don't feel like I'm gonna fall off. You can certainly passively take this and reach your hands forward on the ground or put your hands on some blocks if you wanted. Take a nice full breath in. And on the exhale, slowly just begin to roll your way up. Begin to heel toe those feet together. Coming to that front to middle end of your chair. Roll your shoulders back. Close your eyes, and I just want you to take a body scan. Notice how you feel after your practice. Bring your hands to heart center with a humble bow forward. Acknowledge it takes time and effort and courage to be here. Hopefully, I've begun to open up your eyes to the beauty of stretching with the chair as our prop. If you have anybody in your life who's opposed to trying yoga because it's either too intimidating or that they just say that they're too inflexible, consider sharing this with them so that you can open their eyes up to the beauty of the practice and that it's accessible to everybody in some way, shape, or form. I enjoyed being here with you, as always, and I hope we get to work together soon. Namaste.